Hello. What the hell was that? I wonder if I can play PUBG at the same time. PUBG. Should be able to.
It is super creepy.
It's still processing. My God. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
That's a slightly different sound effect.
Well, yeah.
Have you upgraded or have you just found a new one?
Oh, I've had that. I just don't use it very often. I also have this. Hello. Which has a video game sound behind it. I just don't use those very much for whatever reason.
I see.
Where is that from?
Dooble. The Dooble cartoons. Dooble and Dooble and Doobly-doo.
Okay.
You're just weird.
Yes, I am just weird.
I'll take your word for it.
Word up. So are we ready to start?
I don't know. I'm eating sweets. That's probably not good for starting.
Chinny, are you ready to start?
Are you drunk, Stu, again?
I might, but no, I'm not at all, no.
You got to be sober for the Game of the Year show.
Yeah, man, you've got to be like on point and sort of know what you're doing and stuff.
Yeah, right.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
This show is no more important than the last show we did.
All shows are important equally, I
That's
agree.
what I'm saying.
No, I
That's
said
what
I
I'm saying.
agree. I just said I agree.
So it doesn't matter if you're drunk now or last week.
Well, you know, I don't know.
Right. So we're ready to start then.
I don't know.
I just don't know. I think
Hi,
we might. I
Chris.
don't know.
Fucking show, bitch.
Start.
Yeah.
I am Rick Quading.
Yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Jimmy, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you play in this week.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Is today's hectic lifestyle making you tense and impatient?
Shut up and get to the point!
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I like the beats and shouting.
Keeping it real!
Hello and welcome to episode 417 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast. Game of the Year, oh yeah, baby.
Game of the Year edition. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Should be a pretty short show, really.
Of course it will.
Oh,
No.
I get jokes.
I guess it depends how many games you played this year that came out this year.
Just
For
to change mine, there's only one game of the year.
yes,
I know.
Not
I know.
tough to deliberate on.
I'm hearing this.
Yeah. So welcome everybody.
Yeah, hello.
Hey.
Live. We're not veterans of the military. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle. Just for those who don't know,
We also stream on the internet, on YouTube and Twitch every week.
or some
Usually,
I'm Mixer. Don't forget Mixer.
usually on a Sunday.
Oh god, we already have a cringe. Oh, what are we gonna do? Somebody's saying cringe.
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 I hate that phrase because if you do something that's original or creative or fun or meant to be silly or whatever, people will just be like, cringe. And it's meant to be like, well, I hate everything that's not what I think is funny, so therefore you suck. It's such a negative, nasty thing to put out in the world.
Wow,
So I don't
Duke.
know if are
Why are you
humans
being
on-
so cringe for?
Yeah,
exactly.
Duke, stop being cringe.
Mega cringe.
God, you just like total cringe.
Tell you what is cringe.
What is cringe?
This show.
This show.
This show's totally cringe. It's cringe totes.
I asked if you
It's
wanted the door
totes
closed, Duchess.
cringe.
You said you didn't care. I'm loud. Thank you for taking the dishes.
Yeah,
I'm a loud person. What do you want? You knew this when you married me.
yeah. She knows it. Does she? Can I ask you?
That was when we married. I don't know.
Can
Go ahead, ask away.
I ask you, Duke? Does she walk around with ear protectors on most of the time? You know, like the guys who like
No,
using
most of the time, I don't
jackhammers.
have to yell and scream to be heard over Skype.
You know, like brrr, brrr. You know, all that malarkey.
I don't know what that is. What was that you're doing?
It's a jackhammer, man. It's what they used to do. You know, roadworks and
I
stuff.
didn't realize that was supposed to be a jackhammer.
It's only like a phone.
What, on silent?
It's like a
Vibrating
telephone.
on the
No, it's like a normal telephone.
Brrr, brrr, you know, brrr. There you go. It was close.
Yeah, well. No, I do not. She does not wear ear protection.
That's what I think she needs.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
You're-
By the way, before we get into this shit,
Yeah. Game of the year discussion coming soon, people.
it is, yeah. But I went to Arcade Club, the new version,
Arcade
On-
Club!
on
Live.
Saturday,
Yeah.
and it's very, very good.
Oh, yeah, huh? What's the most exciting thing you had there?
Do you know what I played there? Shall I tell you what I played?
Tell us.
I played PUBG for life. PUBG.
What?
That's what I played.
It
For
is an
about an hour.
it is an
Yeah.
arcade classic.
Because you can't play it anywhere else.
Well, I can. Not at that sort of level because they had really shit hot PCs with 1080 graphics cards in and shit.
Oh,
So they were super quick and it was set at 4K resolution
so
on
quick.
on some very nice 4K monitors. So
Yeah.
so we were playing it like slick. It was slick. But what was quite funny, even though we were playing it slick on 4K monitors with a really shit hot PC, it's still sort of slowed down every now and again.
It will on a 4K monitor, mate.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was just pushing it
Played PUBG unless you played it on that.
too far. But we played the new desert map.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So this is your first time actually playing it then, Steve?
It is the first time I actually got into a
So
game.
What are your impressions then? What do you think?
It's all right, I guess.
Shut
Uh-oh.
up.
Shots fired.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
You're gonna make me.
Shots fired!
You're gonna make me so angry that you want to make me play PUBG while we do the show.
Out of spite.
that was the problem though, because
Playing a game while we're supposed to be podcasting.
that soundbite was rather apt.
Oh, because you shot some people. Did you get a kill?
Because I got shot plenty of times. I didn't get a kill on anything. I just got shot.
How many games did you play?
About three 3
You
or
played
4.
3 games, you need to get 1 kill. Even I got a kill my first 3 games.
I didn't find anyone the first 2 times, and then suddenly got shot by somebody.
They really suck.
Yeah. No.
I'm just playing. It's a tricky game to get the hang of, I think. I don't know when I got my first kill, but
But
There
what's
is a
kind
learning curve.
There is a learning curve.
you
What's
don't play
kind of cool
computers in
is,
general these days, Stu, not online.
not really, no. Probably that's part of the problem. But what's really cool, they've got about 12 PC set up on one side, and then probably about another 6 or 8 on the other side of the room. So they've got those, and then in the middle they've got all arcade machines. S game I played actually was a weird Japanese game, funnily enough. And it was like Guitar Hero, but with giant bongo drums.
Oh, nice.
It was very cool. So, and you could play 2 players. So Sean Feng Chui and I went, and they had these giant bongo drums, right? And you have these giant drumsticks, and the bongo drums set up in like 2 halves, like left and right, and then you can hit the rim as well. So you just basically, it's like, just like Guitar Hero, notes or bongo hits come on the screen. And you have to, correspond to what you're showing you on the screen.
Yeah.
But it's to like marching band music.
Ooh, so you got to be precise.
Yeah, it was so cool. We played loads of that. We played that for about a half an hour, 3/4 of an hour straight.
And we have some audio of you playing that game right here. Damn, you're going pretty fast. That's a good job.
There you go. So it's over 2 levels now. So there's an upstairs and a downstairs. It's in like an old cotton mill.
Why do you think Bongo Hero is the best game ever, Chinny? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It was just cool. It was fun, man. It was just addictive.
That's cool.
It was addictive. So we played that, and then upstairs you've got more modern stuff. So upstairs you've got all the PC set up. They've got VR rigs set up. We've got about 4 VR setups up there.
Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to play this.
What you been playing?
I didn't realize we were going to be doing this segment on the show.
Well, not really. I'm just telling you
Well,
about.
we are, because you're talking about what you've been playing, so therefore, this is what you've been playing.
It's more of a story time, dude.
It's more of a story
It's
time.
like
dude.
both, really.
It's more of a story time. But they have 4 VR headsets set up as well, so you can play VR. And they had 2 of them were on like full-on racing rigs with steering wheel, pedals, and all that. And they had Project Cars 2 running on that.
Ooh.
And that is so weird.
That's weird.
It's just so weird. You sit down, it's like you're in the car, and the first time I spun out
There's
and
a
crashed.
driving simulator where you feels like you're in a car? Slow down.
Nobody really does feel like you're in the car. I mean, I'm not just.
I just don't understand why that's a tall order.
Well, it's weird when you spin out and you're tense because you think you're about to crash into a barrier for real. So that was a bit odd.
It's the Matrix.
Yeah, the first time it happened, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no, I'm not really in a car, so it's all cool.
Yeah.
But it is very immersive and very odd.
Well, all right.
Say. But kind of cool at the same time. So we played a bit of that. And then there was a game that came out on iOS called Groove Coaster. I don't know whether you remember this. He had like a little Pac-Man, or not Pac-Man, sorry, a Space Invader that you had to control along a line, and it played like cool house tunes. But they had a full-on arcade version of this that presumably again was imported from Japan.
Yeah.
And that was super cool. So that was really cool as well. So upstairs you had kind of loads of modern stuff mixed in with a little bit of older stuff. And the bar now, they've got a bar that serves alcohol and all that kind of stuff.
Glug, glug, glug.
And they serve food, so they have like grub.
Oh, yeah.
And then downstairs there's like a really massive room that just has all the like original arcade machines in and pinball machines and all that kind of stuff. But it was very, very busy. So they're obviously doing all right.
I guess so.
Doing all right. So he's teamed up with another guy who's also a collector. So that's what's happened, and then they've got together, started
The
like
collector.
I am the collector.
And it's huge, and it's really, really good. So I reckon in the new year, Chinny, we need to think about having another meetup there.
Is it by where you live?
No, it's further away
Listen to
now.
the excitement coursing.
It's nearer to Manchester now. It's a place called Bury. So it's kind of Bury near Manchester. So it's a little bit further away, but yeah, it's cool. So yeah, we need to have a look at that, see if we can set that up in the new year.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do nothing and you arrange it all and we'll see.
I know that's what happened last time. But this time, to be fair, it's so big we can just turn up. I don't think we need to book or any of that bollocks. You know what I mean? We just turn up to the place.
Hey, are you gonna turn also down?
Might turn down. Turn down. Turn up. So, I mean, we just need to set a date, I guess.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It does
Does
sound like
set
a lot
a
of
date.
work.
Get people to come. Set a date.
We
get
believe
people
you
to
have
come.
the ability to do it, Stu.
I might be
you're
able
Yeah.
to sort it out.
this
Well,
person.
well,
You
we
can
need to
sort
check.
that out.
We need to check when people are available.
No, you can sort
Like,
that out.
When you're
available?
available.
When do you want them to be available?
Well, I don't know. I need to know when Chinny's available. That would be useful.
Depends.
I've been in this hangar, by the way. That's on screen now, picking shit up. I've been
Alright.
in there.
Yeah, this is definitely a pre-recorded video.
Yeah. But I was in this hangar picking up shit.
There's lots of hangars that look like this Stu in the game. There's not just
No,
one.
it's definitely this one. It was definitely this one. I can tell.
Okay.
It wasn't. Probably wasn't.
There are. This is my rifle. There are many like it.
Yeah,
but this
that gun there. I picked that exact gun up,
Yeah.
and then I got shot at in the face.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
what happens in this game. Quite a
The
lot.
the funniest kill that happened actually, we were just wandering along minding our own business on the top of a hill, and then out of
is
nowhere,
I'm sorry. What does that look like in PUBG? You weren't planning on killing anyone. You were just.
we were just nonchalantly walking along, doing nothing to anyone. You know, we weren't bothering anybody. We're just walking on a hill, and the next thing, some sort of car came flying up, which we didn't even see coming, and just hit the person behind me, and they just disappeared, which was kind of funny. It was a little bit like the moment out of Final Destination with the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was literally like that. I was
Haven't seen
like, one minute the person was there, the next minute they were just gone.
You wouldn't get that in. You wouldn't get that in the fucking disappearance of Doreen Boswell, would you?
No, you wouldn't get that in the disappearance of Dorian Boswell
No.
or whatever that is.
You know, those like weird and shit games that you like. You wouldn't get those kind of moments in those games.
No, you wouldn't get the Final Destination recreated with some sort of 4x4. Definitely not. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It was alright. Actually.
It's the best game ever.
I don't think it's not for me, but I can understand why for a lot of people it may be. You know, I can understand the appeal. So, as we're talking about this game, Chinny, how's the challenge going then?
Not very well.
Oh shit!
I
By the way, we didn't establish what you had to do, did we?
What do you mean? What do I have to do?
If you lost, if you didn't manage to get your chicken
Fuck
dinner,
you.
there
That's what.
seemed-
I have to live with the
Yeah,
shame of not
yeah,
getting
Yeah,
a
that
chicken
is a lot of
dinner.
shame. I don't think we need anything other than that.
No. I don't think this is how it works at all.
No.
So I will think
Yap.
of a suitable I will think
Yap.
and we'll sort that out. I don't think you can get clean
I'm
Scott away
Stu.
from
I'm
it.
Stu.
So yeah, shall we get into this? Anything you guys want to talk about before we start getting into
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out. Oh yeah,
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
to Sumu, aka Rick Sanchez, because he awarded me a game that if I had gotten it last year and played it last year, it would have been my game of the year. And it came out in November of last year, so it really should count as this game of the year, but it can't. So I'm just gonna say I am loving Planet Coaster.
I've seen you play this a lot.
Holy crap! It's so addicting.
No.
I like that word. Good word.
It's so good. Have you played this, Chinny?
No, I've been gifted it as well by Sumu, and it was on my wish list, which I think is why you gifted me, and
Yeah.
it's totally my bag if you get my drift.
Yeah, and it's so good. It's intuitive controls. It's hard to figure out how to make money, so I've been struggling with that because every time I think I figured it out, like my profits will just spike and then go down, and I'm like, nah. But it's just so much fun, and there's all these options, and you can design stuff. I haven't even designed my own roller coasters yet. I've just been using all the pre-made stuff. but it's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you, Sumu. You rock.
Yeah, Sumu must like me better than you two.
Yep.
Why? What did he give you?
Because he gifted me 2 games, not 1, but 2.
Yep. Probably 2 shit games that cost $2 each.
Don't be so rude. Do you know what? I have to remember I need to update my wish list because I've nothing left on it now. So, you know, if people want to buy me shit, there's not going to be anything on there to buy.
Am I wrong?
No, actually, I got 1 game called Dreams, which I've had on there for a while, which is kind of a cool puzzle game.
Sounds like it's $2.
Yeah, and I also I had a horror game called Daylight on it, which
that
is
was also
cool.
$2. So I was right that he got you the same equivalent money spent as he got for us.
It's not about the cash; it's about the quantity.
Well, what are you bragging about? He gave you 2 games then. Exactly,
and you two only got 1. Doesn't matter how much it costs.
And we got 2. We each got a good game, and you got 2 dumb games.
That's not very nice. After someone spent money on a gift.
In person.
Yeah. So anyway, I will get around to playing those in the new year. But yes, thank you to Sumu. Also, he's very kind, isn't he?
Everybody should buy games. Actually, not necessarily. If you want to, okay. But if you don't want to, that's okay too.
Yeah, everyone should just buy us games.
Just that would help a lot.
Yeah, we could talk about more stuff every week if people bought us more games.
If you want me to talk about how shit Persona 5 is or whatever, just buy it me.
Yeah, and the PS4 to play on.
Yeah, but
that would be a bad
buy me a PS4 as well.
yeah. Someone should definitely do that. Buy Chinny a PS4. Uncharted 4.
Don't think, oh no, Chinny won't accept it because he's too good for that. No, I'm not.
He'll definitely take it. He'll take it, won't he?
I'll whip it at your hands, mate. Don't worry about it.
Before the dust has settled, it'll be gone.
Where is the custodian to clean up this vomit?
What?
What am I paying y'all for?
What are you talking about?
What are you
talking? You have to. Okay, so one of the things
you're still playing Planet Coaster, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Oh, for God's
many
sake.
guests are trapped in the park. What are you talking about?
Can you not play video games while podcasting, please?
Whatever, PUBG.
I'm not playing PUBG. This is a pre-recorded video.
Yeah. So one of the things you have to watch out for is, what guests say when they're in your park. And one of the things they'll say sometimes is, "Ooh, I stepped in sick." So what you have to do is you have to make sure you have enough custodians to clean up the vomit that occasionally happens when you have rides that are, what?
To vomit inducing.
Nausea inducing.
Yes.
Let's say. Right.
Now, can I just say, in my life, I've been to many theme parks.
Yes.
Where they have said roller coasters.
Yes.
And do you know how many times in all of those years that I've stepped in vomit?
How many?
Never. It's never happened.
Well, the theme parks you attend have better custodial staffs.
They don't have custodial staff. People just generally don't vomit on roller coasters.
I've seen somebody vomit on a roller coaster.
Have you?
Yep.
I've seen people vomit on the waltzer. Now that's a different thing altogether.
Like that. No, it used to be called the PlayStation back then in Blackpool.
Oh, the thing that just goes up and down really fast.
I was in the queue for that. Somebody vomited at the top.
Brilliant. Did it splatter everybody underneath?
No, but it was gross. And I said to my dad, "Daddy, I don't think I want to go on this ride anymore.
I don't want to go on the PlayStation. I don't want to vomit." Yes, I've seen someone vomit on the waltzer, when the local fair comes. Have you ever seen that happen, Ginny?
No.
I'm assuming you've been on the waltzer, though.
Yeah, because I hate myself.
Yeah. And then some dodgy carny. I don't know whether that's politically correct anymore.
Not really, mate.
I don't think that's really a political group, the carnies.
Anyway, some dodgy carny would always come up and like, "You want to spin it faster? I'll spin it faster for you." And they would do this weird thing where they would sway backwards with the momentum and then spin it as it hit the hump. So it would go the opposite way. And that usually did it. So if someone was already feeling a bit queasy, that was the moment it would happen. And because of this spin, the vomit would kind of go everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty vile. Pretty vile, but there you go. Yeah. Anyway, anything else from anyone before we get into games?
Well, Fraser's just come into the chat Fraser's just come into the chat and says that roller coaster game sounds amazing. I think there's a hint of sarcasm in his tone there.
I don't know what to tell you, Frazier. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to play games that I like, and I like this roller coaster game. So shut up.
Then he said
theme park is awesome. You would have a good time there, Frazier.
He's off to play PUBG because
hate all you want.
It's a real game. No, I haven't got anything else to talk about.
Nope.
I'm just really into this pre-recorded video of PUBG at the moment.
The video, it looks like
it does.
Is that a pre-recorded video of you playing, or is this someone else playing? Because they look like they're really, really good. So I can't imagine it's you.
No, it can't be me then.
Yeah.
Okay. It's time for the games of the year. Ba-ba-bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what it is, but
I don't have a jingle, so I don't know what to do.
That was shit. I don't know what it is, but it was a bit shit.
Then.
I don't know. I haven't got a jingle. You're the jingle person.
Shut up! Don't criticize mine.
But it wasn't a jingle. It was just you.
Anything can be a jingle.
I know, right?
Yes.
Don't hate, celebrate.
I don't know. Anyway, how are we going to do this? And are we going to get straight into the three? Are we going to talk a bit about what else we've played before we get into our top three? What are we going to do?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Do a grab bag of other things we've played before we get to our top three.
I like that. I like it. Right. Who's going first then? Let's do a round robin.
I'll go first. Yeah. The 3 games in my top 3 are the only ones I've played this year that came out this year, so I don't have anything to say about anything else.
Jesus Christ almighty.
What do you want me to lie?
No, I suppose. Okay, you can talk about stuff that didn't come out this year that you played this year if you want, because at least that
mixed. Is awesome. I love Planet Coaster.
So what's your favorite thing about Planet Coaster then?
My favorite thing about Planet Coaster is like when I finally get all the systems to work right. Like I figured out how to make a food court, and I figured out where to put the bathrooms, and I figured out like how to decorate. You know, if you make the queue area leading to a ride, if you make it look nice, people are more likely to go on that ride. So like when I figured that out, like just I don't know, that's the satisfying thing about a strategy game, right? Now I must say the version I'm playing, so there's scenarios you can do a sandbox or you can play like career mode, right? And career mode, you have a certain amount of money, you have to manage it right. It's not really about the rides at that point. You know what I mean? It's about making money,
making cash.
And I don't really care about making money, so I need to set it to easier or whatever. I need to do things.
Bob, the businessman, would like to.
Yeah, exactly. Money. I'm not a businessman, so it's just like, whatever. I don't know. And the other thing about it that's frustrating, and I know you didn't ask me about this, but I'm going to tell you, is that like I have a lot of employees, and some of them are mad because there's too much work to do. Others are mad because there's not enough work to do. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. If I hire more people, then people get mad because it's not enough work. And they're bored. If I hire fewer people, then they get mad that there's, you know, too much work to do. So I don't know what to do in terms of making everybody happy.
Stu, as somebody who... No, Duke, right. One of you what, guys? Right, as somebody who employs people in real life, no matter what you do, they're never happy. So it's pretty accurate.
That's what employees are there for, to give you grief all day.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they do, man. You try and give them the moon on a stick, and they'd still be unhappy.
Well, I don't know that I would want a moon on a stick, but...
I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I know what you mean.
It would be kind of cool. But yeah, if you sort of, that's the whole thing with people. People like to moan and whinge about stuff. That's what people do.
Well, I don't want that in my video games.
Yeah, but that's like real life. That's what people do. That's what employees. I'm sure.
Real life.
I'm sure you moan about work all the time.
Of course I do. That's
exactly. So that's what they do. So you should be used to this because you do it yourself.
It's not that I'm not used to it. It's that it's annoying in the game. I don't want it in my games.
But you want all the other simulators. You want to wipe up sick.
I don't mind doing that because I don't have to
some weird reason. But you don't want people moaning because you're giving them shit jobs to do, or not enough jobs to do, or too many jobs to do, or whatever.
If I could hire a park manager, then I wouldn't have to deal with these stupid employees.
And why can't you hire?
I don't have to deal with employees at all. I just want to design. I want to design the park. I want to, move stuff around. I want to decide what goes where. I want to engineer the park. I don't want to manage it.
Surely there's a mode for that.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, maybe. I'm too...
I thought you said there was a sandbox mode where you don't have to do any of the other shit.
There is, but I don't know. There's something about... That's the thing, is that, like, I'm fickle. Because
so let me get it straight. Right? You want to wipe up vomit, but you don't want any of the other stuff.
Look, I don't have to wipe it up. I send a custodian to do it.
All right. So you want a custodian to wipe up your vomit, but you don't want any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So did he vomit in sandbox mode? Is that still a problem?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You don't even know, do you? You've not even tried out this other mode to see if you like it.
I haven't. That's true, and that's a testament to the regular mode because it's so awesome that I'm like, I don't even care, man.
I would imagine that what you described earlier as like just designing and engineering the part without any of the other bollocks is probably what the sandbox mode is.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, maybe give it a go and see what you think.
Yeah, maybe.
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 Okay.
Oh, this guy.
Okay. Any other games you played this year that didn't necessarily come out this year? Because I am trying to fill in a bit and get you to talk about something else other than your top 3, which were the only games
I was
you
looking
played
through the
this
list of games that came out this year, and it's pretty much it.
Okay. I'm guessing you played Rocket League, but we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, and no, you don't.
And Fallout 4 and potentially Skyrim.
Did Fallout 4, the DLC, come out this year, or was that last year?
No, that was last year. In fact, it might be 2 years ago when that came out. It's a while ago. It definitely wasn't this year. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then I have nothing else to say.
You have nothing else to say. What about you, Chini? Other games other than your top 3? Honourable mentions, etc.
Honourable mentions. I don't have many because I've been doing the Dirty 30, haven't I? So
Yeah, but you played more than presumably just your top 3. I'm sure you
I
played.
suppose the
stuff.
only game that I played that's come out this year that isn't in my top 3 is Call of Duty World War 2.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I played that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played that on the PC. On the PCs, man, I played the opening levels. So I played like the storming of the beach and all that bollocks and clearing out the bunkers.
Yeah, it's not a very good part of the game.
No, it was a bit frustrating and a bit annoying. The beach thing was a bit annoying because it was literally just hide here for a little bit, then run, hide for again, run, hide. Oh, blown up. Oh, do it again.
Yep, that was pretty much it.
That
Yeah,
sounds
you
like a
just had
Call of Duty game.
Yeah, you just had to kind of find the right route. Once you knew the route, it wasn't too bad, but it was rinse repeat until you worked out which direction you had to head in.
Yeah, it's not very. I was very underwhelmed by that part. I thought it'd be brilliant, but it wasn't.
The initial bit of it was kind of cool on the boats heading there. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Not really. You've seen it 1,000 times. It's kind of
yeah.
Call of Duty World War 2 is one of those things that when you think you know what you want, and then you get it, and you go, actually, no, I don't want this at all.
No, I don't want this. I mean, it kind of was like that. It really did ape Saving Private Ryan, really, didn't it? That's what it looked like more than anything else.
Every game set in World War 2 wants to be Saving Private Ryan. That's what it's all about.
Well, yeah.
It's true.
It's been done, and it's boring.
Yeah. It's not the best honourable mention, if I'm being honest.
I don't think I've played anything else that's coming out this year that's not in my top 3.
Jesus Christ. Thank God for me, that's all I'm saying here.
Yeah, but like your games are like, oh, the tissue blew over. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I don't think they are. I think you'll find they aren't. I think you'll find they are when I start talking about them. Actually,
try me.
Actually, because the first one I'm going to mention is a rather little game called Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, the tissue, the maggots in the bowl game. Yeah,
The maggots in the bowl game. Is that what you're calling this?
Yeah. No, the reason why I haven't played big games is because of my Dirty 30, so fuck off.
No, I get that, but Duke hasn't got that excuse.
No.
Well, you knew this when you signed me up for this podcast. I play the games I like to play. I'm not going to rush out and buy the latest stuff just because it's new. I'm sorry. I know that's what some people tune into podcasts for, and I'm sorry if I disappoint you in that regard, but I don't know what to tell you. That's not me. I don't do that.
Hey, by the way, you did play something else, Duke, this year. That came out this year.
What?
Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I've already said what I need to say, and It's a good game. It's just not my game because it's the type of thing where your weapon breaks a lot, and there were certain mechanics I didn't like, and it was very difficult. So I can appreciate it as a work of art, but it's just not my jam. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll come to that later. But let's do some honorable mentions. So first of all, Resident Evil 7 has definitely got to be up there. And the main reason for this for me was because Resident Evil 6, although I never played it, was universally slated by most people, as being a bit shit. 5 wasn't. I mean, yeah.
Was shit.
Did you actually play this, Ginny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I vaguely remembered you saying that you played it. I mean, we played 5 together, Ginny, all those years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Vaguely, but I remember it.
I think we even did the last boss together. I vaguely remember doing that. Which was, I thought 5 was all right, actually. I quite enjoyed 5. But 6 was meant to be a bit shit, so I never played that. And 7, they went first person, which obviously Resident Evil has never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. It worked pretty well, I've got to say. It's interesting, Resident Evil 7, because for the first probably 3 or 4 hours of the game, you forget it's a Resident Evil game. Because it's obviously set more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, basically. And you're there to look for your missing girlfriend, and shit goes down.
So why didn't this make your top 3?
Because as great as it was, and it was really, really great, I thought the very end just slightly let it down. I don't think the ending was quite as good as I was hoping for. And I think the trouble is I played better games this year. I mean, let's just from the outset say this year has been a really great year for games.
Yeah. I remember the game that I didn't talk about yet, by the way, and it's not in my top 3. Sorry, go ahead. I'll talk about it later.
So if you you can. I mean, there's not a lot else to say about Resident Evil 7. If you haven't played it yet, you do need to go out and get it. And it's been really cheap recently. Sub £20, around £15. Well worth every penny at that price.
Check it out, people. Come on, what are you waiting?
If you've got VR, if you've got the VR headset, you can play this fully in VR. I've played a bit of it in VR, and it is pretty different and pretty shit scary in VR. It's very much more up close and personal, shall we say. Yeah. So yeah, if you've never played this, go and get it now, because it's, like I say, it's cheap, pretty cheap everywhere. So give it a go.
Chinny?
Yeah, I did die. So now Solo Chicken Dinner, Stu, you'd be happy to know. Yeah,
good.
I do want to play Resident Evil 7. It is on my games I want to get done, but I don't know. It's just been a difficult year with the 30-30 stuff to fit it all in. I'm afraid.
And you haven't quite done the Dirty 30, have you? Really?
No, I got it over halfway, and that's 18, and that's about it.
Damn.
It's faulted. PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG screwed it all up. Really.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
If I had to play PUBG, I'd be all right, but then I wouldn't be staying on all those hours of fun.
Yeah.
So
anyway, Duke, what else?
Fun is fun. That's what it's all about. Why should I play stuff that like I don't really
force yourself to play games that you're not so excited about because of other stuff that meanwhile you have other stuff you do want to play.
Yeah.
So the game that I forgot about was Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. That came out this year, and it's really good. I only played it for a little bit, but it's very well done. It's like Zelda Breath of the Wild without the combat, which I know people are like, what are you talking about? That sucks. But it's a nice change of pace. Like it's about building stuff. It's not too much building, but you're renovating a farm in a way, although that's not a major part of the game. It's about helping people find lost objects and stuff like that. It's a very cutesy, child-friendly game, but I thought they did a very good job with it. So I wanted to give a shout out to Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. If you want something lighthearted, very laid back, very beautiful. The graphics are amazing. Check out Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles.
Yonder.
Yeah, see, you did play something other than what you thought.
That's right.
That's right, you did.
Because I went through my Steam library and I was like, ooh, there's some stuff I played.
There you go.
I should also say Cook Serve Delicious is a great game, and the sequel to that came out this year, but I haven't played it, so I can't say anything about it.
Can do. My second honourable mention has to go to Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
Or Depression Simulator, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Because that's
is that
really
listening to this show?
Possibly. Or listening to this show where I'm talking about Night in the Woods. that a double whammy. Yeah. But yeah, Night in the Woods. You know what though? It's a very depressing game because it's literally about, you know, a kid that comes home from college and nothing's changed. You know, where she used to live is still the same. People are still doing the same things. Everybody's out of work. Factories closed down. You know, it's a depressing place. And, you know, people are getting together to relive old times, I guess. And that's what you do in the game. So you sort of get together with your friends that you used to hang around with. And you go out and have a coffee or whatever, get together in a little cafe. And when you come outside, you find a severed arm. And that's how the game begins, really. That's how the story starts.
That sounds great.
And you poke it with a stick, which is rather amusing.
Well, yeah. What else are you going to do? Severed arm.
Exactly. Poke it with a stick, see what happens.
Use it to 12 Angry Men. Hey-oh! My friend Garrett will get that joke, but he's not listening.
But it is it has got a soft center, and that's the cool thing about Night in the Woods. And it is about deciding who you want to hang out with and who you want to spend more time with in the game and build those relationships with those people again. And yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's very natural, and it's weird because obviously all the characters are animals, so it is a kind of odd-looking game. Very nice art style, but a little bit odd. But it's cool. There's all these quirky characters around the town that you bump into every day. And there's a guy who sits on his front porch every day. And when you walk past, he tells you poems. So he tells you his new poems that he's written the day before. So you get a new one every time you pass him.
Poems?
Poems.
Poems?
Yes, poems.
Oh, on a Grecian urn.
Yeah. So that happens all the time. You do some stealing. You get into trouble. And there's some weird ghost story thing going on. So there's weird supernatural undertones. I don't know how to recommend this game, though. It's a really hard game to recommend to people.
Don't.
Because, yeah, no, but people should play this. It might be interesting.
Just don't.
But as cool as it is, I wouldn't recommend... If someone's already depressed, right? If you're already depressed and you're taking antidepressants... And you've got potential mental...
Oh, somebody's phone's going.
I don't understand why it does that.
That's when someone rings you. That's what happens.
Stuart, it came through my computer. I don't understand why
because it's connected to your emails, I think.
I don't want it connected to my computer. Damn it.
Stop it. Turn it off.
Anyway, you were saying...
Yeah, so it's hard to recommend to people with a mental condition or if you're depressed already, because I really do believe if you're already in that state of mind and then play this game, you'll probably be more depressed.
Yeah.
It is a very depressing storyline, but very well written and very cool. Chinny would hate it because there's lots of writing.
Yep.
So you've got to read a lot of stuff.
I'm glad we understand each other.
Yeah. So Night in the Woods are definitely another recommendation. Very, very cool. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I'll just mention that briefly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because this, obviously when this was first announced, I don't think it was even going to be a standalone game. It was just going to be some sort of expansion for Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
And then they made it into a game on its own, and it was very cool, I have to say. So really, really good story, really fun characters, some great set pieces. In some ways, better than Uncharted 4, in my opinion.
You bastard.
Yeah, I know. I said it right there. And I think part of that was because it was more compacted. So it was a little bit shorter, a little bit streamlined. And the pacing was really well done. So you never kind of got bored and you just sort of got on with it and shit happens. And some very, like I say, some really, really cool set pieces. So... Again, it was sort of budget price. It was 25 quid new. So I imagine to pick this up now is probably quite cheap. So Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is another big recommendation, really. So a huge recommendation.
You've not.
You haven't just got a chicken dinner. Don't even pretend.
No, I remember that I played a game.
Oh, there you go. Oh, good. We'll come to you before I mention anything else. Then, what did you play?
Hey, I played another game that's not in my top 3.
Ooh,
do you know what it is?
I'm glad you prepared well. What is that?
Oh, I've got loads of notes about it and everything.
I know, I can tell.
Oh, God, I can't wait to talk about this. It's South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
Of course you did, yeah, and you finished it.
I finished it, yeah.
I haven't even finished. That's on my. I have got a list of.
I fractured that butthole.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I played that. I forgot to play.
So what did you think? I mean, what did you think in the end? Because I know we talked about this. We're recapping. We're going back over these things.
Upon reflection, I think it suffers from sequelitis. I think, where no one really expected the first South Park game to be good. But then it was. So everybody expected this one to be good, and it was. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's...
Yeah, I think the difference for me is the first game had a better story. I think.
I don't think.
More interesting. It was more interesting.
What is the story in the first one?
The story in the first one's like an alien invasion thing, isn't it? From what I remember. Something weird like that. I can't remember. But
what's
I just
the
remember
story in the second one?
I don't know, really.
So they're both the same, Stu. You can't remember. They're just excuses to make a lot of fucking stupid jokes. The combat's better. I just think that like the surprise wasn't there. You knew it was going to be good. So you're not as shocked when you play it. But it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I was obsessed with it when it came out. I was playing it a lot.
Yeah, it didn't take you long to finish, and I mean, I'm still halfway through, but then got sidetracked as always with other stuff. Other stuff came out, and I got sidetracked.
South Park was the game that turned like drove me away from PUBG. Actually, I had a bit of a break for about a month or so from PUBG, and it was South Park that did it. But I came back.
Yeah, of course you did. You can't leave PUBG forever, man.
I know. But yeah, no, I thought South Park was good, and I recommend it for anyone. I mean, I don't really watch South Park, but I thought it was great.
No, do you know what I think as well? I think I enjoyed the first game more because I hadn't watched an episode of South Park for probably about 15 years or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'd completely forgot how funny South Park was, and then obviously played the first game, The Stick of Truth, and then remembered how funny it was, and it was all kind of fresh for me again because it was so long since I'd seen South Park. And I think with this game, it wasn't quite, like you said, the novelty factor wasn't quite the same. So, but it's still cool. I mean, I was enjoying it up to the point I was playing it, and then got sidetracked with.
Do you remember where you were in the story?
No, I have no idea. I can barely remember.
It's going to be tricky to get back to that game, mate.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll pick it up again. It'll be fine. He says, I think. I'll just forget how to do the combat and stuff. That's the problem, isn't it? With this
combat's pretty simple. You just press a button. And then
I'll remember. It'll all be good. It'll all be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention, because I finished a game today.
Ooh.
I finished another game for this year, which was Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished the final episode of that today. Got it out of the way. It's all right, I guess.
All right.
I'm not blown away.
Yeah.
It's not got any. It's got some supernatural stuff, but not in the same way.
You know why you're not blown away? Because there's no storm.
No, there's no storm, man. There's no shit going down. There is shit going down, but not the same sort of shit going down.
Oh snap!
It's like they wanted to make a soap opera. Do you know what I mean? With teenage angst and stuff.
I hear you.
And they've captured some of that stuff. And I tried to play Chloe in the worst way possible. So, you know, when you get the decisions that you have to make, I try and pick the one that most people wouldn't pick.
Right.
And I kind of got that on a few occasions. I didn't always get it right, but I got it on quite a few occasions, just to see what would happen. Do you know what I mean? Just to see if it really made any difference. And it doesn't really. You seem to get the same sort of responses, because obviously I went and replayed a couple just to see if it made any difference. And it doesn't really. But it was all right. I mean, it was kind of interesting at the end when you finished everything. You get like a montage of what came next. So it does this montage of all the different characters in the game and what happened to them after you'd done everything. Yeah. Which was kind of a bit schmaltzy, but it was all right, I guess. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this. It's hard, unless you were really a massive fan of Life is Strange. I would find it really difficult to recommend this to anyone else, really. But if you pick it up fairly cheap, it's worth a look just to see how the characters of Chloe and Rachel Amber came together and what happened to them before Life is Strange, really.
In case you were just dying to know.
Yeah. I mean, Duke's never even finished the original Life is Strange, have you, really?
No, I have not.
No.
Maybe someday. But not
maybe
yet.
Not yet. You never know. So yeah, I mean, I got there eventually with that, and it wasn't too long. It was about 8 hours altogether, which is fairly good for an episodic 3-episode game.
Yeah.
That's not too bad for about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. But it's all right. It's all right. It's just a load of teenage angst.
Yeah.
And stuff. I mean, there was a bit in this episode where you have to fix the car up. I told you about all the stuff where you had to get the bulbs and wander around the scrapyard for ages trying to find all the stuff you needed.
Yep.
Well, then you have to go back in the final episode and actually fix the engine up so that you can get the car running.
Exciting stuff.
And I'll be honest, if this game makes me walk around this scrapyard again, finding spark plugs and distributor caps and whatever else you need to get a car running, I'm done with this game.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, luckily it didn't. Everything was in the same place, so you just had to fiddle with the engine for a bit to get it running. So they'd obviously realised at that point people don't want to wander around the scrapyard looking for shit and do that for an hour. So no, I didn't.
That sounds like an awesome game.
Exactly. But yeah, it's worth a look if you really like Life is Strange. Other than that, probably not. Not unless it's really cheap.
Good to know.
No, unless it's really cheap. And the last one I'm going to just talk before we get into our top threes. The last thing I'm going to talk about is Tacoma.
Oh, that's right. This year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Have you not got? I assume that was in your top three, Duke. Hence why
it is now. Damn, that means I have another one for my special mentions.
Oh, good.
That is so funny.
Well, wait. How about this, Stu? Don't talk about Tacoma yet. Wait till I put it in my top three.
All right, and then we'll talk about it then. Okay.
And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Castles and Kingdoms because it's a really good. Sorry, Kingdoms and Castles. It's a really good little city builder game. They keep updating it. It's cute. The mechanics make sense. There's some tower defense elements in it. It's just a really great game. Big thumbs up for Kingdoms and Castles. I played it for, let me find out how many hours I played it for. 14 hours, which is a good amount of time to play a strategy game like that, city builder. But it's not quite on the level of like Game of the Year. So I do like it. It's definitely worth, it's not too expensive, I reckon. So yeah, but it's if you like strategy, city building type things, it's $7.49 on the sale right now. So why not give it a shot? It's cute, It's fun, it's well done. They keep updating it, like I said. Merchants and Ports is the next update. They got an infrastructure update. And yeah, it's a good developer, and small team, cute art style, all of that.
There you go. Well, in that case, I do have. I'll just put one more game in as an honourable mention. Then I'll substitute Tacoma for something else.
Okay.
A final one, which is Stories Untold.
Yes.
Which is kind of a modern take on a point-and-click adventure game, stroke text adventure.
Yes.
So
this is the one that sort of looks like Stranger Things.
It is, and it's excellent. Really, really surprised I was when I played this game. I thought it was going to be pretty cool from playing the demo. Duke wasn't as struck on it as I was, because he obviously played the demo as well.
Weird.
But what they do with the full game, it's sort of, I think it's 5. It's either 4 or 5 little vignettes, so they're all kind of different takes on a text adventure, but then they're all linked by one overarching story, which was super, super cool in the way that they did it. Yeah. So it's a really cool narrative. The puzzles kind of are a little bit frustrating in places, but they're not that bad. And I would definitely give this a big thumbs up if you want to play something a bit weird and shit, but kind of accessible at the same time. So it's a WOS game, but an accessible WOS game, and it's not that expensive. So yeah, it's very, very cool. It has got a Stranger Things vibe going on, but it's not really like Stranger Things at all. It's just got that kind of vibe. But yeah, Stories Untold I would definitely recommend. And actually, Duke, I think if you played the whole game, you'd kind of be impressed with it.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We'll never know.
That's what I'm saying. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Anything else from you, Chinny, that you've just remembered?
No.
But, I'll just give a quick run off of the stuff that I never got around to completing this year.
Oh boy.
Which is Horizon Zero Dawn. So a biggie there. That will be game of the year for a lot of people this year, but I never finished that game. Because I don't know, just didn't. Persona 5, which again would be for some people their game of the year, but for me, I just got stuck, man. I didn't get stuck, but it was just so long. I mean, I was like 30 odd hours in, but it was only a fraction of the game. But you never know. One day I might go back, but it's a big undertaking to finish that game. The South Park Fractured Butthole, as Chinny mentioned earlier, I never got around to finishing that. Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, I am still playing that. I played that this morning again. So I'm still making my way through that. And Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, I've not got around to finishing either, but really
like the game. 3 hours long?
Hellblade, I'm not entirely sure. No, it must be longer than that. I've played more than that already.
All right.
I've played more than that already, but that's probably because I'm a bit shit at it. So that's maybe why. That's maybe why.
Okay.
Yeah, let me have a look. 2 hours I've played, actually. I played 2 hours of it. Oh, there you go. So yeah, I need to get back and finish those. I will make an effort in the new year because I don't want to have a dirty 30. So I'm going to have a go and get back. Is there any games either of you two have started this year and want to get back to finishing?
Cuphead.
Nope.
Oh, did you never finish that?
No.
That's not like you, Chinny.
No, it's not.
That is weird. I did think you'd finish that.
It's a difficult game.
Yeah, you obviously just not got the kahunas to do it.
It's not that. It's just that I wanted to play PUBG.
Now it comes clear.
Yeah.
Any games you started this year, Jude, that you want to get back to finishing?
Not that aren't on my dirty game of the year.
No, game of the year. Talking of game of the year, let's start with those. So, Jude, give us one of yours. Give us one of yours.
Yeah,
in your top
in my
three.
number 3 spot, ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Here we go. My number 3 spot. Where is it? Oh, the sound clip. Is Destiny 2.
Wow.
Now, Destiny 2, I didn't get into Destiny 1 very much. I played a little bit of it, but for whatever reason, it just didn't hit me. And I don't really understand the difference between Destiny 2 and Destiny 1, but for some reason, Destiny 2 hit me, and it hooked me, and I really got into it. And I'm going to finish it at some point, but it's funny because I hear people complaining about it, and they're talking about, oh, the end game content is weak, and you're not actually getting the XP for raids that you're supposed to be getting, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't come across any of that stuff because I'm still plugging through the main part of the game, which is usually what happens with me. I hear all this complaining about end game and nothing happens after you've played it for 30 hours. Then there's nothing else to do in the game. I'm sorry, 30 hours is a lot of game for me. I'm okay with that. I don't need end game content of that sort. So whatever.
Apparently, though, the raid is like the best parts of the game.
Well, that's what I hear, but I don't. But I know that the graphics are great, the controls work well, the guns are beautiful. You know, in terms of how they sound and feel. You know, the story is okay. I'm not blown away by the story, but I don't really care. And in the meantime, it's a really fun game. They do a good job with the environments being distinct from one another and having very interesting, you know, use of three-dimensional space. And yeah, I just think it's a really well done game.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. So what level are you at then?
I haven't played it in like a month.
Because I think when I think of people playing Destiny and Destiny 2, it's all about your level.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about your initial level and then these light levels or whatever the hell that is when you get to that point. You know, that's all people seem to go on about, apart from you, Duke.
Yeah, well, I'm not like other people.
Well, this is
apparently.
Duke, isn't it? Like, he just
Yeah, exactly. You knew that.
he looks to shoot things.
He just wants to shoot people in the face. He doesn't care what level he is. It doesn't matter.
Works well for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are you liking the? I mean, what's the loot like in this game? Because it is all about the loot, isn't it? About the guns and shit that you pick up.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not too fussed with that, to be honest with you. Like, there's some things about the loot that's really cool, but in some ways it's kind of grindy, as they always are in these kinds of games. But I mean, whatever. It's fine. It works okay. I'm not really bothered by it. I'm not blown away by it. It's just something that's there.
Yeah. I mean, I am looking. What's kind of interesting for me is I'm looking at the cutscene here that's on screen,
Yeah.
and it almost looks like a Japanese game.
Yeah. Well.
Or is that just me?
I mean, you know, there's Japanese-y elements in it. I wouldn't really call it a very Japanese game, but you know, I can see why you'd think that.
It's the Herdu. It's the character.
You're
the
talking
character
about the
model.
woman in the cockpit. She looks
Yeah.
like but in a Japanese game that would be a man.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, is it? Is it not a man? But yeah, he does look like a Japanese male character, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it's not. And
No.
And the thing I like too about it is that, like, I don't know, I think it does a good job of balancing the open and linear stuff, because you have these missions you go on that are linear, but the world is kind of open and you can go do, you know, little missions here and there, team up with other people, and you know, the world feels appropriately big. You know what I mean? Like, you're not the savior of everything. You're one more soldier in this fight, and that makes sense. That's appropriate. I'm tired of always being the chosen one who will fulfill, especially in a game called Destiny. Like, you're not fulfilling a destiny of saving everyone from everything. No, you're a soldier who does some stuff to, you know, try to stop some bad guys.
Yeah, I think I'd be disappointed if I couldn't, you know, be the hero.
It's not a hero. You're not the hero. You're not the only hero.
You're not James Bond. You're like James Bond's backup crew.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess.
You're like the guy that goes in after James Bond and goes, right, no worries, James. Thanks for that. Sorted.
Yeah, but what's wrong with being James Bond, man? What's the matter?
You can be James Bond if you want. I just think it's more realistic to have individuals who are doing good things but not saving everybody and everything.
Is James Bond in Destiny 2?
I don't believe so. I don't
think I've seen it.
But like I said, I haven't finished the game, so I'm not.
No, that's true. You shouldn't assume, should you, Duke?
Yeah.
No. Is there a golden gun?
No.
Are you sure?
It does look like Halo, though, doesn't it?
It does look a lot like Halo.
Yeah, it is a lot like Halo.
It is basically Halo.
It's basically open world Halo.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it looks exactly like Halo. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, this is Halo.
It's just like Stummies.
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much bigger pill.
Yeah, it's a much bigger game.
Yeah. Yep. Destiny just never grabs me. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, I did play the beta, whatever the hell it was. And for me, it just, like you say, it just didn't grab me. It was kind of cool, but it's just more Destiny. And you know me, I'm all about the new and shiny, man. I'm all about the different stuff, new stuff, shiny stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in rinse repeat. So,
I don't
sorry,
know. Maybe
people.
I'm just done with first-person shooters. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Did you play Wolfenstein?
I've got it.
He's got it. He's never played it.
The second one.
I ain't trying to psychoanalyze you.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you a question, Chinny. Let me ask you a question. Have you played any of the first person stuff on PUBG for life? PUBG.
Yeah, and I hate it.
There you go. You see, you're definitely not into first person shooters, then.
Not anymore, it seems.
Not anymore. There you go. End of.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's come over to you, Chinny, for your first top 3 game of the year.
Hey, my third game of the year. Drum roll, please, Duke.
Oh snap! I got your drum roll for you. Don't you worry about that.
Is Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Though I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts.
Fuck off.
Gotta finish these games for it to count.
Hey, I just said I didn't finish Destiny 2. What do you want?
Yeah, well, that's more acceptable because it's kind of an open-ended game. Open-ended game, man. You can keep playing that for ages.
Suck my balls. Anyway, Cuphead is brilliant. I didn't expect much, especially after EGX. I don't know, and I suppose when I always saw Cuphead, I always thought, yeah, it looks decent. You know, and obviously the visuals are fantastic. But to know that it's actually a brilliant game as well, and how clever it is, and how difficult it is, and how rewarding it is, it's just one of those games that it just didn't really have many faults. And there aren't many games that come along that you go, oh, you know, I can't fault it. Like, I literally can't think of many things that are wrong with it. And Cuphead is one of those games where it's just pretty much bang on. Everything is so well done. You know, the music has won awards, the art style has won awards, the game's fantastic. The bosses are so well designed and fun and interesting, and you know, then they have a bit of a change in pace with the hit and run stuff. It's one of the best games that I've played this year. By a long stretch, one of the best games I've played like this generation, I would say, and I would say that about every game that I've picked this year. Is that they're probably the best games I've played this generation, because I don't feel like this generation really has kicked off until this year. I feel like this year.
Wow, that's a big statement.
I feel like this year has been probably one of the best years for a long time when it comes to the games of the year. You know, 2014.
No, I agree. I said that at the beginning of the show. I think this year's had some amazing games.
2014 was abysmal. Remember, like, I think everybody struggled, and I think Shadow of Mordor was probably the best thing that came out that year.
Yeah, that's funny.
And it's just like, yeah, and Shadow of War came out, and no one even thinks about it this year, because when you compare it next to these games, it doesn't stand a chance. And yeah, I just think like this generation has finally started to sort of kick in a little bit. And funny enough, it's not about the games with, you know, the biggest.
Not the AAA games.
It's not the AAA games. I mean, this was made by, you know, like, I think it was like 12 people in the end.
Right.
And they deserve everything they get for it, because it's fantastic. So I love Cuphead.
Do you know what's also cool about this year in games? What's also cool is just the sheer variety of games that have come out. Yeah. I mean, there really is something for everyone, isn't there? You know what I mean? Whatever you're into, there's probably been a really good game of that sort of, you know, type or particular genre of game come out for you this year. And I think that's what's kind of
the case
cool.
more and more every year, and I agree, and I think it's great.
Yeah, loads of variety, man. That's what we want to see. We want to see different stuff. You don't want to be playing the same games all the time, do we?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Back on Cuphead, I'm just looking at it now, and it just looks so funny and so brilliant. And it's like, Cuphead is like the cartoon that you look at it and you're already familiar with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at it and go, I feel like I've seen that before. Like,
access this.
Yeah, like I this looks like a cartoon that has existed before I was born, and you would look at it and go, yeah, it's just so easy on the eyes. But then you play it and it's absolutely brutal, but fair. which is like the kind of Dark Souls mentality of like it's harsh but fair. Every mistake you make is you making that mistake, and that's why it's got that mentality. It's similar to PUBG in a way where you kind of do have that one more sort of mentality of like this is a great game. I think you would love this, Duke, with the Super Meat Boy sort of mentality that you have where. You really, I know you in particular do really like games that reward you for feeling great, and doing well, and Cuphead does that, and as long as you stop playing when you succeed is is when you do it, because like you will get stuck on a boss, and I got stuck on a boss, and I couldn't do it. I slept on it, and I did it like within the first like sort of 10 minutes. So yeah, it has that Super Meat Boy sort of thing going for it. Brilliant. Cuphead is fantastic. I'm so happy for them. They've made a lot of money. They had to sell their houses and remortgage their houses and stuff, and they made it all back and reaped all the rewards. So good for them.
I think what's also kind of cool with this game is you
always got to have the last word, didn't you, Stu?
Well, that's the host prerogative. But
I
was going to say what I think is also
you could have just said,
cool is,
"Yep, good one." Next.
I was just going to add some coolness to the game. That's all.
Go on.
All I was going to say is I think it's kind of cool because people were worried that this might not be as good as it looked when it very first was announced, and that it wouldn't turn out to be anything that great. And I think, like I say, they've done a sterling job, haven't they? And well done to them.
Indeed.
Indeedy do. Right, over to me, I guess, for my first game of my top 3.
Yeah, go ahead, let her rip.
Which is probably Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh, snap!
Dun dun blah 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 blah.
Is what I'm gonna go for. And part of the reason I'm probably putting that game in my top 3 is because it's probably the game I've played the most this year.
All right.
Yeah.
In terms of hours, I put in probably about 70 to 80 hours into this game.
Yeah. It's a big open world game.
Which is a big old chunk of game. And considering it's a game where you don't really level up as such, is kind of interesting. Because what was kind of cool about this game is it kind of chucked all of the RPG conventions out the window and almost started afresh and went, you know what? The only things you can level up are your health and how far you can climb. And that's it. So all you've got is stamina and health, and that's all you can level up. Other than that, you've just got to find gear and swords and better weapons and learn how to game the game. And I think one of the really cool things about Legend of Zelda is the creators of the game put all these systems into it and then left it up to the player to decide how to go about doing stuff. Yeah. So if you wanted to use the physics in a way that wasn't intended, you can do that. They just put these systems in place, and they kind of weren't that bothered how people completed parts of the game. They just said, look, all these stuff's there. Do it however you get to do it, really. So if you do something that was not intended, that doesn't matter, because if you do it, then you can kind of just do it. Yeah, I think that's what's cool.
Thing to do. I mean, right, establishing good systems. This is what makes Minecraft such a wonderful game, because it's like we're not going to tell you what to do. We're just going to give you tools to do things with. I didn't feel that way with Breath of the Wild, but again, I didn't play it as long as most people did, so I accept that. Like I said, I recognize it as a good game, even though it's not for me.
Yeah, no, that is true, and like you said, Duke. It just, for whatever reason, it just didn't push your buttons.
Yep.
Even though a lot of people have compared this to Witcher 3 and Skyrim in terms of open worldness and all that sort of stuff, it just didn't grab you, did it, somehow?
No, and, the temples were kind of more frustrating than fun to me, but that's just me, and look, let's not get it twisted. Witcher 3 had challenging stuff. Skyrim really isn't about the challenge. So for me, there's things I like about challenging games, but then a lot of times with RPGs especially, I'm not looking for a big challenge. I'm looking for fun gameplay and an interesting story, and I didn't feel like Breath of the Wild had those things in droves. But that's just me.
Yeah, it is weird because it does have all those things that you usually like, but for whatever reason, you just never got into it. I mean, I guess the great example of this was just the whole horse thing. You know, you just, well, you know, you got a horse and you just hated like getting the horse and stuff.
Horse mechanics sucked.
They were fine. I don't know what your problem was.
You played it wrong, Duke. See, I love this. I explain what I didn't like about the game, and Stu says, well, the problem is the horses.
From my understanding, though, people who play the game don't use horses very much in the game.
No, I didn't. I mean, I did use them at the beginning when you first... It's kind of a novelty when you first get a horse.
Yeah.
But kind of after that, you tend to spend most of your time climbing really high places and then using your glider to get to other places.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens, weirdly.
Yeah.
I think once you start getting better swords, that's when it becomes cooler. And what's kind of cool about it also, a little bit like Skyrim, I guess.
What's that?
I have no idea.
That's not me.
That wasn't you.
No.
That was
well,
my
no
phone.
idea.
That was my phone.
That was you. That was you.
That's weird.
What are you two doing between you?
No, that's weird. The Boss Wave podcast episode 196 started playing randomly.
Boss.
And my phone was sitting on my desk.
That is a bit odd.
And I wasn't touching it or anything.
Spooky.
Fucking Chris MJW trying.
I know he did it on, but it's some sort of remote thing.
How the fuck did he do that?
Yeah, did it on you. Yeah, what was kind of cool about, again, going back to Legend of Zelda, once you knew the location of cool weapons or cool fruit that like leveled up your health for you, so you didn't have to be quite as high level to take on stuff. Durian fruit was probably one of the biggest ones. I found a cache of those. Every time there was a blood moon, so everything would reset. So those cool weapons would be available again. So if you knew where to get them, that's all you would do and just go and pick them up again. And then you would be able to go and progress a bit further in the game. So there was just so many cool things about it. And once you finally get to the castle, that's when it got really interesting. The end game stuff was very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally recommend it. I mean, this game still is a lot of money. I mean, this thing has never dropped in value since it came out,
and it won't.
No, and even the Wii U version is still expensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even like you can pick that up cheap.
Mario Kart is still expensive. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just those games just don't drop in value.
No. So. But again, I totally recommend it. You know, it's in my top 3 for a reason, and it's in a lot of people's top 3s or top games of the year. So, yeah. Duke's wrong, sadly.
Well, no, he's not, is he? Because that's what he actually thinks. Only you're wrong, Stu.
But his thoughts are wrong. His thoughts are wrong.
Yeah.
Just saying. But like you said, it's not for everyone. You know, not everything's for everyone.
Maybe
I don't
we should
suppose.
move on. Maybe this constant chattering is not anybody any good. Who's next?
You, Duke, again. What is your next one?
Right. So my number 2 is Tacoma. Oh, how about that? Who would have thought?
My Tacoma.
Yeah, this is by the designers of Gone Home. And just like Gone Home, it tries to tackle some interesting social issues. Whereas Gone Home was dealing with LGBTQ stuff, this game tries to deal with some labor issues and a little bit of, gender and sexuality questions. But a lot of it is also dealing with questions of corporate control of things and AI relations with humans.
What about ethnicity?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my issues with the game. It literally did let's have one of everything on this ship together.
Again, I'll ask again, are you mad at Star Trek for that?
No, but it just seems a bit contrived, I think is the word for it.
I would say that I think it's good that space stations have a representation of the many different flavors of Earthlings, but
which is true. If you had one that had, like, say, 200 people on it, you would expect that to be the case. But when you've got a space station that only has, is it seven characters or 8 characters on it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for them to have 7 different people from 7 different continents. There are 7 continents.
Yeah, and 3 different sexualities or whatever, and
right, yeah,
it is a bit contrived. But other
so
than
what
that,
you're saying
that's
is,
probably my only issue.
You're a big racist. Okay.
I am a big racist.
You want a bunch of white straight people in the game.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. No, it just seemed a bit odd. It seemed a bit
anyway.
Body shapes. Let's have like 7 different body shapes too, just to add to the mix.
Anyway,
you should have different body shapes in a video game, because you never complain about the fact that every single role-playing game has enormous beefy men and hot chicks that are skinny and wearing chainmail bikinis. That
hot chicks in chainmail. Oh yeah, now you're talking. You should have had some of those on the space station. That'd been cool.
The point is, I really like the way Tacoma tells its story. I was a little nervous at first because it has the whole rewind mechanic. I felt like it was a little cumbersome at first, but once you get into it, it's fine. I thought the world was very well defined because they clearly created some good backstory. They did the thing with corrupted files, which you can't access at first, and some of them you can access later, and some of them you can't. It did that thing where you have to watch people. You have recordings of people, and you can, they're 3D recordings of the people actually moving around. And you can watch them put in a code into a locker, and then you can open that locker. That's kind of nifty. But I
must admit the mechanics I thought were excellent. I thought the way it handled the story, and that, like you said, that rewind thing at first, you was a bit like, "What the hell is this?" But I think once you got into it, it was a very cool way of telling the story.
Yeah, I agree, and I know that I loved the part in Fallout 4 where you had to decide whether you think AI, robots or people, basically. I thought that was a really powerful moment for me. It was one of those moments in gaming where, okay, not everybody's going to have that same experience. Not everybody's going to react the same way. Some people thought that was dumb. I don't care. That really made an impression on me. And the end of Tacoma similarly blew me away. I thought it was really powerful. I was really, my mind was racing in that moment, and I love games that can do that to me because I consider myself kind of a jaded person, kind of I didn't well up crying in any part of The Witcher 3. I didn't bust out crying at the end of, Ethan Carter. I was like, whatever. So when a game can break through my,
tough shell of manhood.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. What about To the Moon, man? Did you cry at that?
I thought that was good. They did a good job, but there had been so much annoying crap leading up to the end of it. I was more than anything, and just
still a great story though. Still a great story.
It is a great story, but that's the thing is I don't think Tacoma weighed itself down with a whole lot of excess nonsense, which they easily could have done. And a number of people were upset that it didn't have more story to it. I thought it had the perfect amount of story.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Here's something to consider, though, right? When we watch a 2-hour movie, I don't know anybody who's ever come out of a 2-hour movie going, that should have been longer. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we have these series on Netflix that are like 10 episodes of an hour each, and people are like, never complain that it's too long.
Yeah, they
and
do.
The same video game. A game can go on for 10 hours. That's a long time to pay attention.
I think people do complain it's too long.
Okay.
I complain about games being too long.
No. I'm complaining about
TV
shows being too long, like not getting into them because they're fucking 8 seasons long.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
No, that's different than a 10-episode season, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like I'm watching Dexter at the moment. I'm like, fuck me, just get on with it.
Do you know what's weird though? I was going to say, do you know what's weird? Most TV series now are around about the 10 to 12 episode length, for a season of something. Like when 24 came out, every series around that time was about 20 episodes long. These things were massive, like mammoth things.
Yeah.
And we didn't complain, but now it's like, sometimes you do, like you say, oh, it's a bit too long. But frick me, they used to be longer, believe me.
Well, what I'm saying is Tacoma did a good job of pacing itself in a way that made sense. It didn't race through things. It didn't drag its feet. It didn't, there were a lot of other stories they could have told, and they decided to just keep it focused on the 3 or 4 stories they really wanted to highlight. And I thought they did a very good job with that. So for that reason, Tacoma is my number 2 pick.
Yeah, and I would agree. I mean, had it not been for other stuff I've played, this would have probably just pushed into my top 3.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was just edged out by other stuff.
Well, I loved it.
But I did really enjoy Tacoma. I'm in agreement with you on most things about this game. It is cool. Like I said, I do like the way the story was told, and it's kind of flashbacks, but not, isn't it? Because that's basically what you're doing. You're reliving what they went through.
Flashbacks, yeah.
Yeah, kind of flashbacks, but very coolly done. So, yeah, if you've not played this and you like the Gone the Home type of game, then this is definitely something you should be checking out.
Yep, highly recommended.
Highly recommended. Right, back to you, Chinny.
Okay. For my second place, I am going to pick Mario.
I was just talking to some people who came over for brunch. They brought their kids, and I asked what they were playing. Dad said, we just got a Switch. And I said, so you've been playing Super Mario Odyssey? And they were like, yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey is fantastic, and it's probably the closest thing that we'll ever get to a sequel to Mario 64, which is a Mario game that is very near and dear to my heart. And the reason why it's so fantastic is because everywhere you go in Mario Odyssey, there is something cool. Literally on the screen as I speak, you control a fucking T-Rex, right? And you just jump around, and then when you go back and there's this whole thing, you finish the game, and then there's like more shit to do, and there's like a room where you get to be with the T-Rex, and you get to put him on a trampoline, because I don't know, who cares? Everywhere you look, there's crazy stuff to do, and the capture mechanic. I was listening to the Boss Wave. That's probably why it played automatically.
Boss.
But I heard Chris say that he didn't really love the capture mechanic. But I thought it opened up a whole sort of, I won't say it. Yeah, I will say it. Whole new world, Aladdin.
A whole new world.
I tried not to. And it really it just opened the game up and just made it go a little bit mental on what it could do, and then it mixes it up with the 2D and the 3D. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I love Mario Odyssey. It's just brilliant because it constantly surprises you all the time. There's never a dull moment in that game, and again, it's a game. It just keeps on coming with surprises. And when you finish it, there's just more shit to do. Just constant stuff to do all the time.
So what you're saying is it's the game that keeps on giving.
Yeah, and I suppose the only criticism, again, it doesn't have many, but the only one that it has really is that the bit where you have to, you collect moons, obviously, and you can get 999 moons in this game, but for some reason, I would have preferred it if they gave you like a certain amount of moons to get. But there are actually like 820 odd moons in the game, and the rest you just buy in the store with coins. And
how many coins do you need for these?
Not many. Not many, and it's not that hard to get coins in this game. So, it's not difficult to do, but it just seems like why did they do that rather than having like a number just on Mario 64 where it's just 120, where that's it. That's the amount of stars there is. But yeah, there's loads of nods towards Mario 64. Everything in like levels, one level in particular, the last boss has a nod to it, everything really, and it's just fantastic, and I think it's a system seller, and I would definitely play it again.
Well, it obviously is, because just today I read a news story that said that the Switch is the now officially fastest selling console of all time.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Well, I said when it was
the PlayStation 2
I don't want to do the hashtag Chinny was right, but I did say that I think the Switch would be a success, and people were like, "Nah, fuck no," and I said I think it's going to do well. I showed it to Simeon, Tara's brother, over Christmas on Boxing Day, and he'd never seen a Switch before. And this is the reason why I think the Switch works so well. Is you show it to somebody. I showed him the Switch, right? I showed him Mario Kart handheld, okay? And then he was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I took the remotes off, and I showed it him to play, and he went, "Oh, that's really cool." And then I showed it him, and I put it in the dock, and he just went, "That's amazing." All right, and that's it. It's just, you can see it and understand it like that, like the Wii, where you just see it and go, "I get it. No need for any further explanation. Got it." And that's why it works so well. And then on top of that, you've got games like Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild, which are two of the biggest franchises for Nintendo. And not only two of the biggest franchises for Nintendo, but games where they've absolutely nailed it in terms of what people wanted. People wanted a 64 sequel. People wanted a 3D modern Zelda game, and that's what they've got. And it's Nintendo just absolutely smashed it this year. I think it is like the best year Nintendo's had, like critically.
Well, since the Wii.
No, critically. Fuck the Wii.
Oh, critically for sure, yeah.
I think like they if you're a Nintendo fan, I was a big Nintendo fan. I bought every Nintendo console up to well, I did buy a Wii eventually. The only one I've never bought is the Wii U. But I did buy a Wii eventually. But they kind of lost me with the Wii. You know what I mean? Like I was there with the GameCube and with the 64 and everything, but the GameCube I really struggled to stay loyal to Nintendo, even though there were some good games for them. But like the Switch is where they grab those fans back, and it's like, no, Nintendo have a lot to say in 2017.
Oh yeah, I think it's safe to say that Nintendo is back.
Yeah,
you know, they are officially back now, and I think what's kind of cool from my perspective is that, you know, whereas with the Wii U, because of its lack of sales and stuff, you know, developers just didn't support it because there was no point investing that money in something that's not going to sell very many copies of the game.
I just kind of think it was still a bit confusing though, the concept of it. Like,
it was awful, and they didn't do a very good job of it. And let's be honest, when that eventually came out, there were some really slick looking tablets around, including the Apple iPad and all that, and it just didn't look very slick. It looked like some sort of toy for kids.
The screen didn't look very good. You're right. Like we had iPads that looked way better than that. And it just wasn't that appealing, and it was quite confusing. But like the Switch is just simple, isn't it? It's just a console on the go, and it looks nice and it plays well. And it's colourful and it's fun, and now they're selling well, and they've got Zelda and Mario on there. Everybody's jumping on board.
Get support, and that's a good thing.
I'm interested to see what the future holds for the Switch, because I feel like it's going to be a great it's going to be a great sort of indie platform, which it already is. But I do wonder sort of like what is next for Nintendo on the Switch. I'm not quite sure, and I think everybody's sort of waiting to see what they do, because they've you know, once you've got a Mario and a Zelda out there,
do you think they've shot the load too early? Is that what you're saying?
I don't, because they've sold it, haven't they? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, there you go, you do the rest kind of attitude. I feel like this is how you do it. You do it now, and they needed to do this to sell the console. So I don't know. I in terms of Nintendo franchises that people get excited about, I don't know what else there is really. Like,
maybe there's a new one on the horizon. Well, maybe there's another Splatoon coming out.
There might be. I think if they did another Smash Brothers, I think that would go down. Not maybe with us three, but I think a new Smash Brothers would absolutely be mental for Nintendo.
They're working on that.
Yeah, I think
probably. I would have thought.
I think because Smash Brothers is like a ridiculous fan. Like, people love Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it is huge.
And
they're also, let's not forget, they're trying to get into the sort of esports side of things, and that is a perfect game for that.
Of course it is. And I honestly think Nintendo's best shot of staying with it is, do the Smash Brothers and maybe like another fucking Splatoon or whatever, but making all the games that are available on the Wii U on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just make it backwards compatible, or just release them on the store
quicker, and get them out a bit quicker.
If they made games that like every game that came out on the Wii and the Wii U is now available to buy on the Nintendo store, I think that would go a fucking long way for Nintendo, because a lot of people missed out on the Wii U, and there's some decent games in there, except for Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2, man, you're talking.
But I think that
said it's not Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
Bayonetta 2, man. Oh yeah, for the win.
But like, joking aside, people would want to play Bayonetta 2. You know what I mean? And people would want to play, like, Pikmin 3 and stuff like that. But it's not a console seller like Mario and Zelda. But if they just went to the effort and gone, you know what, they're on the Nintendo store now, screw it, it would do really well. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I'm not quite sure, but Mario Odyssey is an unbelievable game that's full of surprises. I wouldn't say every stage is brilliant. This is the weird thing. I've got more criticisms for Mario Odyssey than I do for Cuphead. But I suppose Mario just does a lot more.
And it's Mario. Let's
and
be
it's
clear.
Mario, and I am a massive Mario fanboy. That is true.
You are.
Yeah, it's good for me. For me personally, it's nice to see that the horse that I backed, which was Mario, not Sonic, because he's a complete prick.
Sonic's shit.
He's still doing well today. I remember when I was a kid, it was Mario. My mate Lee Nerjowski, he was Sonic, and he used to say Sonic was better. I used to say Mario was better, and now I can laugh at him and say you're fucking wrong, because Mario's still smashing it. So I'm happy to see that Mario's doing well. It pleases me that people still love Mario, and kids love Mario. Leo loves Mario, and that makes me
everybody
happy.
Loves Mario, man. What's the matter with you?
I bought little Leo a Mario Kart remote control car for Christmas, and he was very pleased with it. He likes Mario. He on the 24-hour stream, he was playing a little bit of Odyssey with me, and I didn't realise how fast this remote control car was. So in the living room where it was, all his toys and stuff was laid out that he'd been opening all day, and he started controlling this remote control car, and he was like running over all his toys, smashing the door, running over people's feet, and just laughing all the way.
Nice.
So I didn't really realise how...
Good choice, Ginny. Good choice.
Yeah, it was pretty sick though. It was a pretty sick. I was playing with it more than him after that when he eventually got bored.
Japan, where it's been the fastest selling console ever, and it basically cleared from the launch to the Christmas Eve of this year, 3,258,083 units.
Yeah.
Have been sold. 844,000 of which were in December.
Yeah.
So they sold nearly 1 million, and 221,000 in just 1 week in December. Yeah. I mean, this thing is a bloody behemoth, isn't it? It's doing all right. I think Nintendo are probably happy.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great console. Happy. I have no buyer's remorse getting mine. Like, I thought I would, to be honest. I thought I'd buy it and be like, shouldn't have bought that. But I've bought it and not regretted it at all.
Mind you, you've already really had your money's worth off just like Mario alone, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, Mario Kart. I've had some really good times on Mario Kart. Because I didn't have the Wii U, did I? So I missed out on that Mario Kart. And it's a really, really good Mario Kart. It's fantastic. Yes. And yeah, it again, every one of their franchises, they've just absolutely nailed it. And Mario Kart's just brilliant. There's no gimmick Do you know what I mean? That they slap on it. With...
By the way, that's just reminded me of something I didn't mention about the all-new arcade club. Also on the second floor, they've got like probably about, I don't know, probably about a 15-foot screen, you know, like with a projector. With switches set up to play Mario Kart on the giant screen.
Nice.
Dude. There you go.
But there's no gimmick with these games. Like the gimmick is the console itself, right? But the way you play the games, there's no gimmick. With the Wii, the gimmick was the console, but it affected the way you played them, right? But there's nothing with this. It's just
it's still got motion controls in those.
It has.
So, you're not quite telling the truth here, Chinny.
Yeah, but like, you can play Mario, you can play Mario Kart, you can play Zelda, fine without them.
You can, but they have implemented some of those controls into Mario, haven't they?
A little bit, but you could play Mario Odyssey without those controls.
Yeah, so you just switch them off and off you go.
You don't have to switch them off. You just don't do them. It's fine.
All right. Okay, then.
It's fine.
Okay.
Mario Odyssey.
There you go, Mario Odyssey. Right, my second game is... My number 2 is... I'm going to go Yakuza 0.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, Yakuza 0, man. Yeah, I'll just give a quick honourable mention to Kiwami, which is also very, very good. But for me, 0 kind of takes it, really, as my number 2 game of the year. And again, I put a lot of hours into this game, and it's just great. There is nothing better than a bit of sort of, you know, Japanese mafia, kicking ass, hitting people with whatever comes to hand, and there's a lot of stuff that comes to hand in this game.
That's not what I'm seeing right now on screen.
Wow. What are you seeing? What are you seeing on screen?
Karaoke.
Oh, yeah, there is that. There's karaoke, there's dancing, there's real estate management. There is everything in this game that you could ever imagine. And then some. You know, some of the weirdest and most fun side stories I've ever done. You know, the probably taking the biscuit was probably the dominatrix storyline, I've got to say, which was just hilarious. That you had to teach a dominatrix how to do the job better.
Why would you know how to do it at all?
Well, you know, it's just funny. It's just very, very funny. It's just a brilliant, brilliant game. I don't even know what to say. It's serious and ludicrous in equal measure. And I think that's what makes the game so great, is that it goes from these really serious storylines to this really ridiculous stuff, all in the same like hour.
You say that as a good thing, and I would.
It is a good thing.
I would see that as a bad thing.
No, it's just so great because it's just.
You're not listening now. You're not listening. I would see that as a bad thing.
I know you would, but it doesn't. It works. It just works.
Why? I want my games to be one thing or the other. So make a decision.
Can't
be everything.
I enjoy both, and it's amazing. So I don't even know what else to say about Yakuza 0 apart from if you like remotely like GTA. And you like that open world, and you like crazy shit, this is a game for you. Don't be afraid.
The animations look really wooden.
They're great. Trust me, it's really great.
The animations. I'm looking at the animations now, Stu. They look really wooden.
It doesn't matter. That's just irrelevant, because the storyline's so great, and the stuff that goes on is so crazy that it really doesn't matter. It's just brilliant. And Tokyo itself, the sort of city, is just an amazing place to wander around. And there's just so much crazy stuff going on. It's just brilliant. It really is brilliant. I don't even know what else to say about this game. But just don't be put off. If you're just wondering whether just to, give it a go, you won't be disappointed. You have to read a lot because it's all in Japanese. There isn't any English voices or anything like that. It's all Japanese acting. But it's just brilliant. I don't even know what else to say.
Really, like, I'm watching it now, and there's a cutscene in game, and then there's a cutscene that's like everybody's frozen,
Yeah, they do this weird mashup of that sort of stuff.
Just that irritates
There's not
me.
weirdly, there's none of that in Kiwami. So in Kiwami, it's just proper cutscenes. In this game, in Zero, they maybe moved on a bit when they started doing Kiwami and thought, you know what, we'll just do everything fully animated. But yeah, in Zero, but there's not that many of those types of cutscenes. You know, the ones where it is like frozen in time. There's not that many. It's mainly all fully animated cutscenes. So it's brilliant. It is really brilliant. The story's excellent. It's like I say, it's kind of serious, the actual main story. But it's only the side missions that are crazy. But that, I think it's just for a bit of comedic relief, a lot of it. Well, it's great. It's really good. And I do think at some point in time, Ginny, you need to give it a go.
Yeah.
You've got to give it a go.
I feel like this is going to be one of those games that you recommend to me, and I'm fucking going to hate it, though.
I don't think you'll hate it, right? I think there'll be bits of it you hate. You know, don't get me wrong. I don't think you're going to love this.
You're going to hate bits of this.
But I think there will be some of it that you just won't be able to stomach, that you'll just go, no, that's just stupid. But I do think there's quite a bit of the game that you'll also really like about it. I think you'll be a kind of 60-70% like, and, you know, 30-40% not so much. You know, that's my estimation anyway.
I don't know.
It's just so good, man. It's just so good. It's Mafia, man. It's Mafia crossed with GTA.
This is not Mafia.
It is Mafia, the Japanese Mafia.
No.
Yes, they are. Yes,
I know the Yakuza are the Mafia, but this is not Mafia the game.
No, it isn't, but it's like that. You know, it's the same sort of thing.
Okay.
But it's craziness, but greatness at the same time. Right, we've come to our number ones, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the number ones.
Let's start with Duke.
People are gonna hate me because I've never heard anybody say this as their number one, but it's true. Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Oh wow.
Oh,
is a game that ticks a box that I've been wanting ticked for a really long time. On the PS2 and the Xbox, the original Xbox, there was a game called Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. And the whole idea of the game was very simple. You ran around shooting bad guys and taking over parts of this country, taking it back from the evil dictator that was in charge of it. And that's exactly what Ghost Recon Wildlands is. It's goofy, it's stripped down in some ways, but there's a whole lot going on in the game in terms of what you can do, finding, you know, it's a Ubisoft game, right? You establish a, you know, presence in an area, you do main story quests, you do side quests, you gather stuff. The story is very weak. It's completely idiotic in this game, but you know what? I don't care. The different areas of the game are well defined, and there's a person over here in charge of, you know, he's a music producer. So the stories in that area all involve, you know, dealing with the music that he's putting out, which glorify the drug dealers and stuff. And then over here, there's someone in charge of, you know, whining and dining officials and judges and stuff. And you have to deal with that. And the way you deal with all of it is you shoot people and blow things up. And that's fine. There's some certain side missions which are stupid. We've talked about this. There's ones where you have to start a generator and then basically keep the enemies away for 2 minutes or whatever. And those are annoying and stupid. But if you get the mines down, then they're not so bad. And just in general, I felt like it was a really fun game. It's, you know, the drone is really good to use to mark enemies, and the guns weren't perfect, but they were pretty good. And it does a good job of switching between third and first person, kind of like The Division. Yeah, I just thought it did a lot of things really well, and it was fun. Like, more than anything, it's a lot of fun.
Have you heard about the extra thing that they've been doing till January?
Yeah, what? The Predator
stuff.
What?
Predator in the forest.
So, do you think about it, right? Can you think of a more perfect game to put Predator into?
No, I can't.
So there's
I was like, what the fuck?
There's a mission where you basically get hunted by the Predator.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I was listening to Giant Bomb, and they said they fucked up the marketing because they just announced it. But what they should have done is not announce it.
Yeah.
And then let people just discover it by themselves. And
really.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I played this as well. This is another game that I played. I completely forgot about.
You played loads of this as well.
I did play a lot of this. It is good. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of a bit
forgettable.
It's like
seeing as you forgot.
No. It's so early on in the year. That's why it was like March. So like I don't know. I forgot that Tacoma was this year, to be honest, as well. Yeah, it's a game where like, you know, the fun is fun. You know, there's like marking people up and finding a way in and shooting people. And I played this whole game with Marsh. And it is fun, and I enjoyed it, but it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again. And
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and Duke likes that, whereas I feel like
I'm an unusual shade of cat.
I like repetitiveness to an extent, but this is like the same. And people might say PUBG, Chin, PUBG, but I would argue like every battle's different.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though it's the same premise,
but that's true in this game too, man, because sometimes you get the alarm before it goes off, and sometimes you don't.
No.
No, it's not the same.
No.
No, you're right. It's different when you're fighting with humans.
When you fight with humans, like, you really... Yeah, every battle is different. When you fight in AI...
Like I said, final destination moment, man, that wouldn't have happened in Wildlands.
No, when you fight in AI, it's just like they wander around and then you get alerted and then they go, must have been the wind, and then they go back to what they're doing. It's okay. I think this game is very good, and I probably should have gave it an honourable mention, but You've
done it now.
I got bored with it. I mean, I played it for fucking... Like, I think I played about 40 hours of it. So it's not like I'd had a quick go on it. I played it a lot and I liked it. It's just got a bit boring for me, Duke. I'm sorry. But
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
What he's saying in a polite way, Duke, is that your choice for game of the year is a bit shit. That's what he's saying.
No, I'm not saying
that's what he's saying. I heard him say it. That's what he said.
But like, you played this on your own, Duke.
Yeah.
So how did you find the whole sinking shots and stuff? Because I never had to do that.
I actually like that because,
makes the game really easy for a start.
Well, it makes it easy, and it's what I like. Like it's a little bit of strategy, but it's also, I would do the thing where I would only have, if I had 3 people in my squad and me, I would only have them sync up 2 shots because I want to take the other people out.
Yeah.
So it allows you to let the AI do some work, and they're not completely useless like the AI in a lot of games are. And yeah.
No, good.
It's just it's an interesting
Duke's game of the year.
Game of the year.
And like I said, I know that not everyone's going to share that, and I'm okay with that. But I just thought it was really well done.
Yeah. Now I wonder what Chinny's game of the year. Who knows what this could be?
Well, it might be a surprise. Oh, look, I queued up Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I didn't transition it on OBS like that. Oh no.
You can pretend that was your game of the year.
No. No. So, my game of the year might shock you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sure it will.
You want a drum roll?
Yes. It's Call of Duty World War II.
What? Yeah, sure it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It isn't.
It's fucking PUBG, mate.
PUBG, man. What else is it gonna be?
PUBG for life, motherfuckers.
And it's out as a full release now, so it counts.
So it
totally counts.
Bitch.
Totally counts.
Polygon gave it a 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Bitch.
There you go.
PUBG.
I mean, I'll be honest, from the little bit I've played, I can see the addiction to this game.
Every time I love really simple design, right? And when you say to people like the Switch, right? It's a fucking mobile console. You plug it into your TV, it goes on your TV. It's like the Nintendo are not the first people to have that idea, right? No, we thought of it before, but they implemented it. They made it really simple. PUBG is the Hunger Games, which is a really simple idea. and like I can't. The thing that baffles me about PUBG is that why it took fucking so long to get that game done. Like the Hunger Games came out in what, 2012?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And why only mods picked up on it and nobody just went, hey, we should make this to a fucking game? I don't know. So why it took this long, I have no idea. But it's so simple. It's brilliant, and I've had so much fun playing this game, and the last week or so I've been playing a lot solo, trying to get this chicken dinner, and it's a different game solo, but the fun is definitely co-op and squads, because it's just funnier. And yeah, I mean, I got 2 chicken dinners in the last 2 days because I was playing with duos and stuff. But yeah, it's just better when you play with people.
Can I just correct you though? I do need to make a correction at this point. I think you'll find this is more based on a film called Battle Royale.
Well, yeah, okay. It is. It's the same thing. But I
technically correct.
Yeah, which came out a long time
before. I know. But like the reason why I say Hunger Games is because when I'm explaining it to people, right?
Yeah.
I say, have you seen the Hunger Games?
Call it just a bit. But they even call it a Battle Royale game. They don't call it a Hunger Games game.
Rome.
Right, but when I explain to people that are not in the video game culture or may not have seen Battle Royale, I say they're more likely to have seen Hunger Games than Battle Royale.
It's true.
It's true. I guess.
So when I say to Simeon's wife, Natalie, who has no fucking idea what PUBG is, she says, oh, it did, Simeon was enjoying that game. And I was like, yeah. She says, what is that game? I said, have you seen the Hunger Games? And she said, yes. I said, it's basically that. And she went, oh, that seems cool. And so like, the reason why.
Yeah, but Shinny, you had a responsibility in that moment to tell her that she's an idiot. She doesn't know.
And what do you do? What are you saying, that the people who listen to our show are idiots?
Yes.
No. I'm just saying.
Is that what you're saying? That they wouldn't know what Battle Royale is? Is that
you're purposely trying to get a rise there, Stu?
Just saying. Can I just also mention at this point that one of the iconic moments in the film Battle Royale is when one of the contestants gets given a frying pan as a weapon. And obviously that's a very iconic thing.
Yeah,
in
obviously.
This game.
It's iconic. Come on. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Stu?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Right, because my game of the year is way better than whatever shit you're gonna pick. It's just a fact. And the other thing is, it's such a good game to stream as well.
Yeah, I can see that, because it does get quite interesting once the number of people left starts to go down, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's such a good game to stream. When it gets down to the top 20, I get so the buzz that you get is ridiculous. And Fraser said he gets more nervous watching me play than he does when he plays. And it's just I've really enjoyed streaming it.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about Fraser is he spent hours watching this game before he bought it. Then he bought it, didn't really like it as much to begin with. Sold it back, got a refund. Watched it a lot more, and then bought it again, didn't he? And then he got into it.
I think he got into it, and then I came shortly afterwards, or I'm not sure what brought him back. I don't know if I brought him back or he played it and I joined to him. I'm not sure, but it was. There's basically always 4 of us that I play. There's me, Kev, Fraser and Sean, who we all play together, and there are other people. There's Mark Annex as well and stuff like that, but those are the main. And Real Kahuna, how can I forget Neil? Neil is one of my favourite players on PUBG because he always Neil's the guy that never fucking sticks with the group. Like, he's always behind all the time, all right? And he's like, oh, like, come on, Neil. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing over there? And he never parachutes together. He always stays behind. Like, everybody's like, okay, we're gonna go north now, and Neil's still in the house looting away, trying to pick stuff, and he's always the biggest moaner as well. I love Neil, by the way, but he's always the one. He's always the one going, I can't fucking find anything, la la la, and it's just brilliant. And Sean's always the one that shoots first and asks questions later. Fraser's always the one trying to compose everybody, and he gets really mad when people don't follow, like, come on, we've got to do this.
What, his orders? Is he like the general ordering you all about?
He doesn't necessarily make the decisions all the time, but he gets mad when we don't play professionally. Do you know what I mean? He gets mad when we don't take it seriously and act like a team. Fraser's happy when we all act like a team.
Is that what it is? Can I ask you a question?
Go for
it. So all these other people, have they all had solo chicken dinners now?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Must make you feel a bit of shit, that.
Dude.
Yeah. Bad luck, man.
Yep.
No. Yeah. Sorry to put a downer on it now, haven't I? I feel a bit bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, you never know. You've got till New Year.
Chinny,
You've got till New
Year.
Year.
Check, though. Hang on a second, Chinny. I just want to check and see something. Have you ever gotten a kill in this game, Chinny? Haven't you?
Many.
It's all right. I ain't got a bet on this, though.
No, but you're gonna take the piss out of everybody else. But when it comes to yourself,
not everybody, just Chinny. To be honest.
In fact, today alone, I got a fantastic kill today, and it was so far away on the desert map.
About it. I mean, Stu feels bad enough.
Yeah,
did it lead to a chicken dinner solo though? Did that happen?
Not a solo, because I was playing in duos. So.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
It was a good kill, but it was for naught.
Yeah.
Really. Never mind. Have you had any seconds this week? Have you got close?
There's no need for that.
I've got second and third. Yeah, yesterday I got second and third.
Not first, though, is it?
No, it's not first, Stu. No.
It's not though, is it? No.
No.
Never mind. I don't think I'll be doing anything ridiculous at EGX this year anyway. I think I'm fairly safe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was gonna come and visit you on New Year's Day. I don't think I'm gonna now.
You're not gonna know.
No,
is that it?
No.
Not out.
I might leave the show now, Stu. You've offended me. Sorry.
That's funny.
Sorry.
That's funny.
I can't wait to talk about your game of the year. It's gonna be great.
No, do you know what though? Right, joking aside, I really do hope you get it. I do, because I want to just be stupid at EGX. So I can do stupid anyway, but at least I've got an excuse to do stupid.
I want to do it so I can just move on with my life.
I know, yeah.
I just feel like
you can finally say you've done it, and
I can just relax. Then I can play something else. Like, I feel like I haven't completed the game until I've done it.
Yeah, that is like the completion of the game, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I've got
chicken.
Yesterday I got a duo chicken dinner. Today I got a duo chicken dinner, and I think yesterday I got a squad chicken dinner. Like, chicken dinners aren't that, like, I mean, they're still great, and they're still like a big buzz when you get them. But, like, when you first play the game, they feel very unachievable. But the problem I have now is when I do a solo chicken dinner, I just get so nervous when I get to the top 5. I just start shitting myself. And when I get nervous, I get really cold. My hands get really cold.
Yeah.
So I know.
I reckon this is. I think you're clamming up, man. I think this is a trouble.
Yeah, I think
and for the calmest person I know, that's probably hard to do.
I think I choke. I always seem to choke, and I always seem to make a really bad decision at the last minute. Like, the one that wounded me was when I had him, the person that I should have killed him. The chicken dinner, I should have got him, but no, I didn't do it. But yeah, I don't know. It might be this one that I'm watching now. Actually, it might be this one. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's one chicken where I should have done it, but I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, it is a numbers game, and probably once you do it, you'll probably get a few more. Because it's that initial not choking up, isn't it? Once you've got that initial one, you won't be as nervous the next time.
No.
So, yeah, I'm sure you'll do it. I'm sure you'll do it eventually.
We'll see.
I'm sure it'll happen. And let's remember, this game cost you £800.
It did.
Lest we forget.
It did.
This was a very expensive game for you.
So when I play it and go, am I playing this too much? I think about that £800 that I spent and go, no, exactly. I'm not playing it enough.
I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
I'm getting my money's worth. Right, I guess it's over to me for my game of the year then.
Game of the year.
My game of the year. And it was a hard decision. Even whilst we've been doing the show, I was, seesawing depending on, what it was going to be.
You want to drum roll?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, it had to be. I don't know why, but it had to be this, and it's What Remains of Edith Finch. That's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I think it is.
Expect that.
I think it is. What did you think it was going to be?
I don't know, but I didn't expect that.
There you go. That's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch, and I think it's because out of every game I've played this year, that's probably the game that I've been most emotionally connected to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is for me for games, really. It's about the story, the narrative, and how it affects me emotionally, And
we play games for very different reasons.
We do. It's true. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all, Variety is the spice of life, as they say. But I think what I think is great about What Remains of Edith Finch is that it is the perfect walking simulator to an extent. I think that they've taken what's come before, and they've sort of finessed it to a point where they've got that bit of balance of gameplay and story in a way that makes it still interesting to play. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what the fuck I'm watching right now, Stu. It's just a fucking...
It's interesting. Hard to describe. It's hard to describe out of context. What you're seeing on the screen now is hard to describe out of context with the actual game itself. But what's kind of cool about Edith Finch is that it's this hyper-real fantasy game where it's a tragedy game at the end of the day. You're playing the last moments of all of these people's lives, all that are part of the same family, and they believe that the family's cursed, and if you're part of this family, you're gonna die, and probably not in a good way. And I think that was kind of cool about the game, and it's a sad game. It is a sad game, but it's also a game with a little bit of hope at the end. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what made it very cool, very clever, great art style, and just really well written and really interesting characters.
Did you play this, Duke?
Nope, not yet. I mean, I would like to. I'm curious. I'm not dying to play it yet, but there are some good walking simulators, there are some mediocre walking simulators, there are some bad walking simulators. I think that the genre as a whole used to attract me just by itself. It didn't need something, it didn't have to prove itself. I would just be like, ooh, this is, I trust that somebody who goes to the effort to make a game that's nothing but walking around is not going to waste my time with a bad story. Well, Dear Esther cured me of that shit, didn't it?
Yeah, but let's be honest. Dear Esther was the first of this kind, really.
I know.
So that was, let's be honest. They were kind of coming up with a whole new genre that no one had ever done before.
Myst kind of did it the same way, except that it wasn't, you don't have puzzles.
No, Myst was an out-and-out puzzle game, but it did have elements of
it was a lot of people hated Myst because they were like, where's the puzzles? And they didn't realize the environment was the puzzle. So, don't get me wrong. I agree with you to an extent, but it's not, I just think that we can easily lose our minds congratulating Dear Esther for what they did. Anyway, the point is, Dear Esther was deliberately obtuse. It was deliberately mysterious and weird and shit. The point is that I believe that What Remains of Edith Finch is probably good. I'm interested to play it, but I'll tell you, the experiences I've had, like with The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, made me more judicious about how quickly I'm going to run into this sort of game.
I guess. I'll 100% recommend this game to anybody who likes this sort of thing. If you haven't got around to playing this game yet, then...
What about me?
You don't really like walking simulators, though, do you?
I like Gone Home.
Yeah, you may like this. It's more gamey than sort of Gone Home. There's more gamey elements in this game.
You have to shoot people.
No, you don't, but people do die. People do die. In fact, nearly everybody you play as dies.
Oh, that's good. Now I'm interested.
You know, in weird and wonderful ways.
Is there a blue circle that encloses on you?
No, there isn't. No, there isn't, that I'm aware of. I just think it's a really, really cool story. I mean, I've played through this 3 times now.
Wow.
Probably this year. And one of those times, Millie played it. So I watched Millie play it as a sort of observer rather than a player. And yeah, she played the whole game in one sitting, which I was kind of impressed with.
I didn't like Firewatch as much as I thought I would. Does that an indication of if I
No, this is a much better game than Firewatch as far as story goes.
Right.
It's a much better. It's more coherent, and it's got a definite beginning, middle, and an end. You know what I mean? So it's kind of got everything wrapped up in that. It's definitely a more sort of structured story.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. It's just a cool story. So, yeah, I totally recommend it. And there's some nice surprises, nice references to other stuff. You know, so there's a lot of Easter egg type stuff in it. It's just good. It's just really, really, really good.
Every time you play PUBG, it's a different story. How about that?
Yeah, you definitely don't get that with Edith Finch. But it is my game of the year because it is such a good story. And it's quite touching, you know, some of the stuff that you find out about the family and what happened to these people. You know, it's just cool. And it's like, I think one of my favorite things about the whole of Edith Finch, you know, apart from the cool storytelling, is just the house itself, because it's just fantastical. You know, this house could not exist in the real world because physics would dictate that it would fall down, because it's sort of rooms built upon towers, and it just sort of keeps going up and up and up. Well, in the real world, that bit would just fall off the side of this house because it's not supported by anything. But it just looks so cool. It's almost really cool. Like if you were a kid, this is the sort of house you would want to explore, because there's secret passages and levers and doorways that you don't know are there. You know what I mean? It's almost like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe type territory. You know, you're going around this house and there's all these secret compartments and stuff. And it's just cool for that. Just for that very reason, it's cool.
Why is there carpet in the bathroom?
Do you see there's a story to that?
There's a story, Chinny. There's a story.
Yeah. There's someone, it was pretty, you know, someone liked pink, I guess.
Just have a pink floor. Just have a pink vinyl floor.
You know, but I don't know. I can only tell you it's just a cool game. And yeah, I would just recommend it to everyone to play. So there you go. That's it. And I think that's it. Is that it for all our games?
That's it.
That's it. We're done. Shit. So just to recap. Duke's game of the year was.
It sure was.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Ghost Recon Wildlands.
There you go, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Crazy. That's okay. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, and of course, Chinny, yours was
The Secret of Doreen Boswell.
Woohoo! PUBG for life.
PUBG for life.
And mine, of course, was What Remains of Edith Finch. So there you go. Game of the year done.
That's it.
That's it. So how do you reckon 2018 is going to shape up? Do you think we're going to have as many great games as we had this year?
I can do my game of the year now for 2018. You ready?
PUBG for life.
No. Ask me the question.
Go on. What's going to be your 2018 game of the year, man?
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Of course.
Best game ever.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
So that's
Why
it.
wouldn't it be?
So we've saved time, really. I don't need to turn up for next year's game of the year. You can just splice that out.
But are you?
Yeah, just cut and paste it into next year's show. Job done.
Turn up. Will you be turning down?
Turn down for what?
When you turn down, Duke, you have to ask yourself, what are you turning down?
Down 4. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the only game that I care about.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't think of it.
So far. maybe you'll find more things you care about.
Yeah, this time last year I didn't even know PUBG existed.
PUBG for life.
There you go.
I know it's my favourite game. Almost
Exactly.
of all
Something
time.
might come next year to catch you out.
PUBG is. I think about my favourite games of all time. And PUBG's now definitely in the top 10. I'm not sure.
What
if it's in the
about
top
what about God of War? That's coming next year.
Fuck God of War.
Fuck God of War.
I mean, it'll be good, but it's not going to be. It'll be good. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I play Horizon Zero Dawn, I reckon I'll like it, but it's not going to be like one of the best games I've ever played. Whereas PUBG is, without a doubt, one of the best games I've ever played.
That is true. That is true.
Yes.
I think we've gone on for long enough.
I think we have.
I think we have. So we will save. So don't bother sending those in again, people. Those two people who sent those this week, which was Mr. Steve. So I will give him a shout out for taking the time to send them in. Procrastinator Fabulous has done us a quiz, but it'll have to wait till next week.
Will.
Oh, snap.
But we will do them next week. So thank you very much for sending those.
And this is it. This is the last episode this year, isn't it?
It is the very last episode.
Are you going to publish it this year, though, or are you going to publish it?
I might do New Year's Day. You never know. You never know.
That's next year. That's next year.
Oh yeah, New Year's Eve then, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And that's it, I guess. So just some quick shout outs and we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you listening. Where's the sound effect for that thing? Oh, yeah, here it is.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
There you go.
Start.
Yeah, who's going to go first? I'll go first. I'll go first.
Yeah, why not?
That's what I'm going to do. I guess I'm just going to do a general thank you to everybody who supported the show this year with all the speak pipes and the emails. And, who watches us live every week on Twitch and Mixer and YouTube. All the people that have supported Chinny in his streaming because I've been a bit shit. I haven't done a whole lot of streaming, but Chinny's done a whole ton of that shit. And there's quite a lot of people have, watched him play and done all that stuff. So, just a general shout out to everybody who listens, who downloads the show, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what else to say. It's just been a great year. I think we've had a great year for the show, great year of games, and loads of lovely people have listened in. And yeah, shout out to
everybody. Did we get any
everybody
entrances for the PUBG code?
Nope. I don't even remember anything coming. So,
Okay. Who wants this fucking PUBG code for the Xbox? There you go.
Yeah.
Right into the show and ask for it.
Yeah, you've got to send an email though. You can't just have it.
You gotta go to veterangames.co.uk, go to contact, and say I want it, and then I'll pick a random one.
First person. No, it could be first person who can be asked to do it.
If it's the first person, no, because some people are listening live and all that sort of stuff. So, no,
whatever.
You can win if you don't have PUBG on the Xbox One and you have an Xbox One and you think, fuck me, I love Chinny.
You want to play with Chinny? You want to play with him?
Chinny's always correct and he's always bang on. And I like Chinny. He's a good guy. Tell you what, I'm going to give this PUBG a go. Well, you can have it for free.
There you go. Right. Over to you, Duke.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Sumu for giving me this awesome coaster planet coaster, whatever it is. Antonio, I know you've been busy and dealing with stuff, but hopefully we'll play some Rocket League soon enough. And everybody who showed up on a Friday to listen to us record rather than the usual Sunday. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us and everybody who's been listening and those who listen on the podcast but for whatever reason can't get in touch or don't get in touch. That's okay. We love you too. So thank you for listening and being our friends. Thank you for being our friends.
The next time we record is on the 7th of January.
Yeah, that.
So.
Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Coolio. Is that it? Are we done?
That's it. I think we're done.
Let's get the hell out of here then.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Outro song. The end of the show. You fucking pricks. Turn the podcast off. Oh, wait, you don't need to do that because it'll turn off when it ends. Why don't you listen to another podcast, you ungrateful fuck?
Happy New Year!
Yay!
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody!
Gonna do something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV. Hurry up, no good to me. Why don't you? Go.
Yes. The Drunkard, Procrastinating Fabulous, Reclusive Fox, Baron Von Glower. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, the drunkard right at the top of the show. So, did anyone enjoy What Remains of Edith Finch? Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, we did.
Some people, well, you didn't, but I did.
I haven't played it. I don't know. Maybe it's awesome. Maybe I'm gonna love it.
It is awesome, of course, because it's my game of the year. Because of course it's awesome.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. Guess
That's
we're
it.
done.
We are
I
done.
guess we're done. I can hit stop on this recorder now.
There you go.
Yep.
So Chinny. So are you gonna come on New Year's Day then?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. You need to let me know so I don't go out or something. Yeah, that wouldn't be good if you made your way all the way here and then I wasn't here.
I'll just go see your neighbour.
Go see my next door neighbour.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, let me know.
I will.
Let me know if you're doing.
I will.
We will definitely be until at least the middle of the afternoon, I would have thought.
Okie dokie.
So, but we're going round to Kay's mum's for tea, but we don't usually have to get there till about 4 o'clock-ish.
Okie doke.
So let me know. It would be very cool to see you.
I will let you know.
I think Kay will be very impressed. She would be very surprised and shocked, I think. So that would be funny.
Cool.
That would be very funny.
I'm actually going to see Duke.
Yeah, now that
on New Year's Day. Yeah. I'm driving from Manchester to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Duke's face if you just turned up on his doorstep? Hello.
You're right,
Although
Duke.
you don't speak anything like that. Hello, it's Chitty. I bet you didn't recognise me for a second there. I bet you wondered who the hell it was.
Yeah. No,
Like
feed me, is what I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. Where's these thingy tacos or whatever you're eating that I always hear about?
What?
Well, you're always eating some sort of vegetable taco.
You're always eating tacos.
I have no idea. You're talking about burritos?
Oh, burrito. I knew it was something like that. I was one or the other. I was close.
You never.
It's Mexican food.
You're always eating. I bet you're eating a burrito
God, he
now.
has to correct me, doesn't he? You couldn't just go along with it, could he?
Are you
Because
eating?
you're wrong.
Oh,
You really want me to just go, well, yeah, I know what you mean. And
yeah, I like them the taco stroke burritos, you could have said.
But it's not. Whatever.
Are you eating a burrito now, Duke?
No, I am not.
I bet you are.
He's stuffing his face with a big fat burrito.
Right, I'm going to go because I'm tired.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to go to bed. I've got to work tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, have a great week. I'll see you a week on Sunday, I guess.
The 7th, yeah.
And I might see you on, actually, Sunday.
Yeah.
Which will be weird.
It'll be Monday.
No, Monday. Monday, even.
Yeah.
Let's get the day right. Will be good. A good idea, wouldn't it?
It would.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night,
Duke.
yourself.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Right, see you later, Shinny Man.
Bye.
Bye.